So I shall be presenting briefly about the activities that we have been doing at LAYA, um, uh, with related in relation to um, um, the livelihood technologies, the project of the Women Technology Park. In this, we have been doing in two aspects. One is related to the livelihood concerns. So where technologies have been used to help the Adivasi women to take up technologies for promoting their own livelihood with the resources available, which they were not earlier using for their economic activity. And the technology has been developed to um, improve their livelihood by making it a more economic activity. So in this, we have one is on adda leaves. So adda leaves is the leaf from one tree there, and which is extensively used in as paper plates. So earlier they were just collecting these leaves and then they would stitch them into leaves and use it at a home level or a small at community level. But now this is a very big market in everywhere in the neighborhood and same state and also elsewhere in the country, where these are used now extensively for all functions. So there is a big market for these adda leaves. So there are also machines through which these leaves could be pressed, and then instead of the earlier traditional way of stitching, where it was a very laborious process and the production would be very less. So women are trained in these adda leaves. So they would stitch and then make it into. It would be compressed in the machine and made into a hard paper-like thing, which will replace the traditional glass plates and the porcelain plates. So it is a disposable one and are also biodegradable. So that way, these adda leaves are very useful, and they are available everywhere in the region. And so the resource is very um, almost free of cost. So they only have to collect it from the farm, from the forest, and then make it into a produce. Then another one is on tamarind cake making. Tamarind is also extensively available, and it is very it's used. It's also used everywhere in Andhra Pradesh and all other southern states very extensively. And tamarind they come in the season, and then unless they are collected and then they have seeds and all that the other fibrous material. So unless they're cleaned and stored and kept, it has to be stored for a year long. So that is also another problem. So women they do all these preliminary work of preparation, removing the seeds and the fibers and sticks and other things, and then they make it into a small cakes like half kg and 1 kg like that, and which is wrapped in packets, and then it's sold in the market. So that's one very important market for it, because it's also extensively used and it makes life easy for those who use it. So that way it has good market. So this is one of the from the produce. This is one thing, and the second livelihood thing is training young adult educated girls in video skills. So the girls who have studied up to school level or even plus 2 or even early degree, etc. And there is the habit of getting the girls married at a very young age. So if they go out of the community, then they go into other occasions. But otherwise, if they are staying back in the same area, they could develop these video skills and help within the community and earn some money for themselves. So they have been trained in video skills and in production of small videos, so where they could use within the community. So this is for developing their own entrepreneurial skills. Then the third is improving the agricultural implements for the women who are involved in agriculture. So this is also one of very important activity that women are involved apart from the adda leaf collection and other things. So they do a lot of agriculture activities along with the men. And so the existing agriculture implements are traditionally made for use by men. And so now there have been new agriculture implements have been designed, or which will be useful for handling by women, so that the drudgery could be reduced to some extent. So these implements have been also developed, and they have been trained to use these implements, and then they are now utilizing them. So this is with regard to the livelihood technologies. And then also the nutritional issues, so that along with any economic activity and improvement that they have in their livelihood aspects, they could also maintain good health and nutrition, and improve their living, uh, what do you say, the health skills. So in that context, again, three things have been developed. One is studying the nutritional aspect of the women. That has always been very not so very satisfactory. And second is to improve their awareness on prenatal and postnatal care, because women automatically get into family life, and then they develop their the family reproductive life and all that. So they need to have awareness instead of just doing like something like a routine. Instead of that, if they're given awareness on what care to be taken in prenatal stage and also postnatal child rearing and these things, so the that is also a second aspect. So one is on nutrition, education, and third is on herbal based medicine. So that also has been developed, and so this also helps them to help themselves as well as their families and neighborhood in treating small illnesses for which they need not run to the hospitals. And obviously, as we all know, the medical care is very limited in tribal area. Though there are government hospitals and other things, there still there is a limitation. So if they are given medicines used suitable for small ailments which they could treat at home, maybe like something for indigestion, stomach ache, or anything like small ailments like headaches and things like that. So that would help them a lot in their easy living. And the last one because water is one of very important source where it could lead to contamination and lead to waterborne diseases, and which will be very high, especially in seasons like where there is heavy rains and the water flows with mud and other things. So the water becomes highly contaminated, and it's very risky for them to consume such water without any treatment. So biosand filter helps in easy treatment of water, and where they need not struggle to boil the water and allow the water to sediment. And instead of all that exercise, this biosand filter helps them to easily get pure water, by which they can reduce or divert their attention to other activities. So these are the few technologies that we are working with.